The men might not say it out loud, but they miss women who live by a certain code. See, there's something powerful about a woman who knows her worth, who doesn't need to shout it from the rooftops, but shows it through the way she carries herself, the way she loves, and the way she walks away when she's not valued. That woman, she's the one who stays on a man's mind long after she's gone. Confidence and self-respect are the foundation of everything that makes a woman unforgettable. When a woman carries herself with assurance, when she walks into a room knowing she belongs there without needing anyone's approval, that energy hits different. You see, a confident woman doesn't chase validation. She gives it to herself. She knows her value and she doesn't lower her standards just to be liked. Men can feel that kind of energy even when she doesn't say a word. It's in her posture, in the way she speaks, and in the choices she makes. She doesn't beg for attention because her presence already demands it. Confidence is magnetic. It draws people in without her even trying. When a man meets a woman like that, she stands out from the rest. Most people are searching for something to fill their emptiness, but a confident woman already knows she's whole. That's why she's not desperate for a man to make her feel special. And that's exactly why a man starts seeing her as special. It's not arrogance. It's a quiet understanding of her own worth. Men secretly admire that, even if their ego doesn't admit it, because deep down, every man wants to be with someone who inspires him to be better, not someone who settles for less. Self-respect goes hand in hand with confidence. It's about what you allow and what you don't. A woman with self-respect doesn't entertain situations that insult her peace. She's not afraid to walk away from anything that doesn't align with her value. When she says no, she means it. And when she loves, she does it from a place of strength, not need. Men remember that kind of woman because she doesn't play games. She sets the tone. She's not impressed by money, looks, or charm alone. She looks deeper, and that challenges a man. It makes him realize he can't just show up halfway. He's got to bring his best self forward. A confident woman's self-respect doesn't compete with anyone either. She's too focused on her own growth. She claps for others, but she doesn't compare herself because she knows comparison is the thief of joy. She's secure in her individuality. And that security gives her a calmness that's rare. When a man experiences that calm energy, someone who doesn't argue over every little thing, who doesn't need constant reassurance, he starts to crave it. He starts to miss it when it's gone because her peace becomes his peace. Confidence also means she doesn't settle for being an option. She understands that being chosen isn't as important as being valued. She won't chase anyone, but she'll attract everything meant for her. That's the beauty of self-respect. It doesn't just protect your heart, it teaches others how to treat you. And when a man loses a woman like that, it stays with him. He might date others, he might move on, but there's always something missing. Because you can replace attention, but you can't replace the feeling of a woman who truly knows her worth. That's the kind of woman he'll secretly miss. The one who was whole before him and still whole after him. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful things a woman can do, not just for her relationships, but for her peace, her identity, and her dignity. When a woman understands her limits and refuses to compromise them just to please a man, she immediately earns a level of respect that words alone could never command. A man might not like boundaries at first because they challenge him. They draw a line between what's acceptable and what's not. But deep down, that's exactly what makes him value you more. A man can't truly admire a woman he can easily take for granted. Boundaries remind him that your love has standards, and standards are what separate a strong woman from the rest. When you set boundaries, you're not being cold or difficult. You're teaching people how to treat you. You're saying, I know what I deserve, and I won't accept anything less. A man secretly finds that irresistible because it tells him he's dealing with someone who values herself. When you let a man know what behaviors you won't tolerate, you shift the dynamic from him having control to mutual respect. And here's the truth. Boundaries don't push men away. They filter out the ones who were never meant to stay. The right man will rise to meet them. The wrong one will get offended and walk away. And that's your protection, not your loss. Men miss the woman who had boundaries because she wasn't desperate for love. She wanted alignment. She didn't cling to attention. She valued connection. She didn't play small to make him feel big. And when she said no, it wasn't rejection, it was direction. She was showing him how to love her right. That kind of woman stays on a man's mind because she challenged him to grow. She didn't let him get too comfortable giving the bare minimum. She required effort, communication, consistency, and accountability. And once a man experiences that kind of standard, he can't forget it. Boundaries also show emotional maturity. It takes strength to say, I care about you, but I care about myself too. A woman with boundaries doesn't argue or beg. She simply removes herself from what doesn't feel right. Her silence speaks louder than any confrontation. A man might act like he doesn't care at first, but over time, he starts to realize that no one else held him to that same level of accountability. No one else demanded his best. And that's when the missing begins, not because of the attention she gave, but because of the strength she showed. A man will always remember the woman who respected herself enough to draw the line. Because in a world where so many people chase validation, she stood out by honoring her own worth. Her absence reminds him of her standards. Her boundaries become the echo in his mind, the thing that makes him realize how rare she was. And when a woman like that walks away, she doesn't leave bitterness, she leaves impact. A man might forget a woman who tolerated everything, but he will never forget the one who refused to. Mystery is one of the most powerful and underrated qualities a woman can have. It's not about playing games or being manipulative. It's about holding back just enough for yourself to keep a man intrigued. When a woman gives everything away too quickly, when she reveals every thought, every move, every emotion, she leaves no room for discovery. But when she keeps a little part of herself sacred, when she lets him see her depth slowly, she creates curiosity. And curiosity is what keeps a man thinking about you even when you're not around. Men may act like they want full access right away, but deep down they love the chase. They love the feeling of peeling back layers, of earning your trust, of learning you piece by piece. A woman with mystery doesn't overshare her life, her plans, or her emotions all at once. She doesn't have to explain everything she's doing or where she's going. She knows that silence can sometimes say more than words. She lets him wonder what's on her mind, what drives her, what makes her glow the way she does. That wondering creates a pull, a magnetic force that keeps him curious, engaged, and emotionally invested. It's not about pretending to be something you're not. It's about understanding that your energy Your thoughts and your emotions are valuable. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to them. When a man meets a woman who has mystery, he feels something different. He can't predict her next move. She's not always available, not always answering immediately, not always saying yes. She has a life of her own, and that independence makes her fascinating. He starts to think about her more often because he doesn't fully have her figured out. Every conversation with her feels like a discovery, and every moment together feels like a privilege. That's how mystery works. It creates an emotional rhythm that keeps him hooked long after the initial spark fades. Mystery also builds respect. A woman who values her privacy and doesn't broadcast every detail of her world shows that she's grounded, she's confident enough to let people wonder instead of needing to prove herself. Men respect women who don't chase attention because it makes them realize she's not easily impressed. When a woman can enjoy her own company, live her own life, and keep her emotions in check, she becomes unforgettable. A man will think about her at random times because he doesn't know everything about her. There's always something left to uncover. Over time, mystery becomes memory. When she's gone, he replays their moments, wondering what she was thinking, what she felt, what she meant when she smiled that certain way. That's when he realizes how much he misses her. Not just her presence, but the feeling of never quite knowing what was coming next. Men don't miss predictability, they miss wonder. And the woman who mastered the art of mystery is the one who keeps him wondering long after she's out of sight, because she gave him something rare, something his heart could never fully solve. Genuine kindness is one of the most powerful forces in a woman. It's the kind of beauty that doesn't fade with time, and it's the kind that a man never forgets. When a woman is kind, not because she wants something, but because it's who she is, it touches a man in ways he can't always explain. It's not about being soft or naive. It's about showing strength through grace. A kind woman can calm a storm without raising her voice. She can show care without losing herself. Her warmth makes a man feel seen, valued, and safe. And that kind of feeling doesn't leave easily. You see, the world is full of people who want to be loved, but very few know how to love with compassion, patience, and understanding. And when a man finds that in a woman, it stays with him long after she's gone. Kindness doesn't mean being a pushover. It means having a heart big enough to love deeply and strong enough to walk away when you're not appreciated. A woman with genuine kindness treats people with respect even when they don't deserve it. She doesn't retaliate with bitterness because she knows her peace is worth more than any revenge. That quiet dignity becomes unforgettable. Men might meet women who are attractive, funny, or charming, but the one who treated them with real kindness, who cared even when she had every reason not to, is the one that lingers in their mind. When a man experiences that type of woman, she becomes his emotional home. She's the one he could talk to without judgment, the one who encouraged him when he doubted himself, the one who believed in him before he even believed in himself. And that's something no one else can replace, because real kindness leaves fingerprints on a man's heart. It changes how he sees love. It makes him realize that not every woman is nurturing, not every smile is genuine, not every touch is healing. So when he loses a kind woman, he doesn't just lose a person, he loses peace. He misses the calm energy she brought, the way she made him feel lighter in a heavy world. Kindness also shows emotional intelligence. A kind woman understands that love is not about control or perfection. It's about understanding, patience, and care. She listens more than she speaks, and when she speaks, her words build instead of break. Men respect that because it's rare to find someone who loves without ego. She doesn't humiliate him, doesn't compete, doesn't try to prove her worth. She simply embodies it. And that quiet confidence mixed with gentleness is something a man remembers forever. The truth is, kindness creates a connection that's deeper than attraction. Looks fade, excitement fades, but the way someone made you feel remains. Men might not admit it, but they miss kindness more than they miss anything else. They miss the woman who made love feel safe, who brought peace instead of chaos, who gave without keeping score. That kind of love becomes a memory he carries everywhere, a memory of a woman who loved with grace and left with dignity. Growth and independence are two of the most captivating qualities a woman can possess because they show that she's not waiting for someone to complete her. She's already whole. A woman who's focused on her own evolution, who's building her dreams, nurturing her mind, and protecting her peace, radiates a kind of energy that draws people in without even trying. Men secretly admire that kind of woman because she doesn't rely on them for her identity. She's not sitting around waiting for attention or validation. She's busy creating a life she loves. That independence makes her unforgettable because it tells a man that she's a partner, not a project. When a woman is growing spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, she keeps changing in beautiful ways. She's not stagnant. She's always becoming, and that challenges a man to do the same. She inspires him to rise, to level up, to keep chasing his own purpose. A man might not say it out loud, but deep down he respects a woman who's driven, who has her own goals, her own hustle, her own passions. That doesn't intimidate the right man. It excites him because growth shows strength. It shows that she can handle life's ups and downs and still keep moving forward with grace. Independence doesn't mean she doesn't need anyone. It means she chooses wisely who she allows into her life. A woman who's independent doesn't attach her happiness to someone else. She's fulfilled within herself first. She knows that love should add to her life, not define it. And when a man meets a woman like that, he feels the difference. There's no pressure, no desperation, no games, just authenticity. She's not with him because she needs to be. She's with him because she wants to be. And that choice carries a lot of power. Men remember that kind of woman because she makes love feel like freedom, not obligation. Growth also brings self-awareness, and that makes her even more magnetic. She's not blaming others for her pain or stuck in old patterns. She's learning, evolving, becoming better. A man who witnesses that sees resilience in her. He sees a woman who falls, learns, and gets back up stronger every time. That kind of strength earns deep admiration because in a world where many people stay the same, she's the one who keeps pushing herself to become more. When she's gone, a man misses that energy, the drive, the ambition, the way she carried herself with purpose. He starts to realize that she didn't just bring love into his life, she brought growth, balance, and inspiration. She pushed him to be better, not by demanding it, but by being the example. That's what true independence does. It doesn't compete, it inspires. And when that kind of woman walks away, it leaves a void no one else can fill. Because he doesn't just miss her company, he misses the motivation, the calm confidence, the unstoppable energy she brought into his world. A growing independent woman is rare, and once a man experiences her presence, her absence becomes unforgettable. Walking away with grace is one of the hardest and most powerful things a woman can ever do. It takes a deep sense of self-worth to leave something you love simply because it no longer values you. When a woman reaches the point where she chooses peace over pain, dignity over drama, and self-respect over attachment, that's when her strength truly shows. She doesn't need to make a scene, doesn't need to beg, doesn't need to explain. She just quietly steps back, and in that silence, she speaks volumes. A man might not understand it at first, but once she's gone, he'll feel it. Because nothing haunts a man more than the memory of a woman who loved him deeply but still had the courage to walk away when love stopped being reciprocated. There's something unforgettable about a graceful exit. A woman who walks away with her head held high leaves behind an energy that lingers. She doesn't curse his name or try to prove her worth. She knows her worth doesn't need defending. She accepts what is and releases what isn't. And that level of composure is what makes a man realize what he's lost. Most people walk away angry, trying to hurt back. But a woman who walks away calmly, lovingly, and without resentment, she leaves a mark that time can't erase. Her silence becomes a mirror that makes him confront himself, his mistakes, his choices. And that reflection often hits harder than any words ever could. Walking away doesn't mean she stopped caring. It means she finally started caring about herself more. It means she recognized that staying would cost her more peace than she was willing to lose. It's an act of strength disguised as surrender. A woman who can walk away gracefully doesn't do it because she's cold. She does it because she's wise. She knows that love shouldn't break her spirit or make her question her value. She knows that letting go isn't giving up. It's making room for what's real. And that truth gives her a quiet kind of power that no man can forget. A man will always remember the woman who loved him enough to leave him, not out of bitterness, but because she respected herself too much to stay where she wasn't cherished. He'll remember how she didn't chase, didn't argue, didn't fight for his attention. She simply walked away with her peace intact. And long after she's gone, he'll feel the weight of that absence. He'll remember the look in her eyes when she decided to choose herself. And he'll realize too late that her silence meant finality. That's when the missing truly begins. Not because she stopped loving him, but because she showed him what self-love really looks like. When a woman walks away with grace, she doesn't just leave a relationship, she leaves a lesson. She teaches him that real love cannot exist without respect. And though he may move on, there will always be a part of him that wishes he had loved her the way she deserved. Because once you lose a woman who can walk away without hate, you never really stop missing her. You just learn to live with the emptiness she left behind.